You're watching this video because, like millions of other business owners and marketers, you want to do whatever you can to never see this suspended icon on your Google business profile, because that means that your business is no longer getting seen by 90% of people in your market. I'm Justin, the founder and CEO of Merchant, and our business has helped over 20,000 businesses rank higher on Google Maps. And in this video, I'm going to tell you everything we know about how to avoid Google business profile suspensions so that you can do your best to avoid them. So let's dive right into it. I'm going to show our Google business profile as the example. It's currently Q4 2025. So everything I'm going over is the latest and greatest information around avoiding Google suspensions. So the first thing that you want to make sure you never touch on your profile is your name. And the reason for that is because Google really doesn't want businesses to sell their Google profiles to other businesses or lead gen companies once they get it established. And so it's totally okay to change the name on your Google profile if you have to. But what I would suggest is that you don't try putting keywords in it if that's not actually what your business name is. So, for example, if we try putting in our business name as Merchant, best AI SEO tool, like this, or maybe a dash, which is more common when you're putting in keywords, and I hit save, most likely Google is going to flag my profile for suspension because they know that I'm just trying to stick keywords in my business name. Now, if you were able to get keywords in your business name already, then definitely do not touch your business name because you have something good going on and you don't want to ruin it. There's other ways around this, like getting a DBA. So, we could file for a DBA. It's very cheap, and make our DBA name Merchant Best AI SEO Tool, in which case Google will actually allow this, but they'll probably suspend my profile first, and then I'll need to provide them with that documentation to get them to allow it again, which I would like to avoid altogether. So let me cancel this. The next thing that you absolutely cannot change because it will suspend your profile 99.9% of the time is your location. So if you have an address on your Google business profile, if you change this address to a different address, or maybe you're moving, Google is going to suspend your Google business profile and require you to verify at that new address. The good news is that verifications are getting easier if you legitimately operate out of that business. If you're a service area business and you're just trying to verify your home address, or UPS or USPS office, well, that's probably not going to work anymore because Google does not allow it. So be very careful with touching these location settings, because any little tweak could and probably will suspend your profile. Something else that you can do when it comes to the location is adjust your PIN. And I would actually suggest that everyone comes in and has a look at where their PIN is right now, because in the past, competitors were able to move your PIN so that you wouldn't rank in your city. So just as good hygiene, go in and make sure that your PIN is actually where you're located. I'm going to carefully close out of here because I do not want to save this. Okay, the next thing that you need to be careful of, and this one's not guaranteed to get your profile suspended, but we see many cases of it, which is actually changing your phone number. And so if you go over here to edit profile and contact, you have the ability to edit your phone number here that Google is going to pass all the calls to. And it's not a sure thing that you get suspended, but this is another way that that someone might try to change where their leads go, and Google gets a little concerned about that. And so if you are going to change your phone number on Google, be sure to update it on your website first, so that when Google goes and checks your website, the two numbers match. Right? That's one of the things that might trigger a Google suspension. The next thing is the website URL. And similar to changing your phone number, when you change your website, Google is also most likely going to be a little concerned that maybe you're passing your leads to a different business because maybe you sold it to a lead gen company, or you're giving those users a different experience than what they expected when they click onto the website that they initially verified for you. So whenever you change a core piece of data for your business, Google is going to go out, do some checks, and make sure that it's safe for their users. So I would not change your website domain unless you absolutely have to. Now, if you're doing a legitimate domain change from one to another, then it's completely fine. Just know that there's a small chance that Google is going to make you verify it again if they don't like what they see on the new website. We've also seen in more scenarios where someone goes to change the website URL and then Google just changes it back. So it's not guaranteed you'll get suspended. In some cases, they'll just reject your change and put it back. The next thing that can cause a lot of suspensions is changing the business categories. So Google allows you to put a handful of different categories on your Google business profile, and they changed actually the best practice for this back a couple of years ago, I think in 2023, to instead of list all the different services and products that you sell as categories, to instead just focus on what it is that you offer instead, or what it is that like your primary business is about. And so what you need to do is make sure that you don't change your category too dramatically. So, for example, we're not really a marketing agency. We're a software company that offers marketing tools to small businesses and agencies. But just so that we don't avoid the suspensions, we haven't gotten rid of the marketing agency as our primary category yet. So just make sure that if you are making changes to the category, that you stick close to what it was before. If you try changing it from a jewelry store to a car detailing service, Google's going to suspend it because it seems like you're probably selling your profile to another business. Now, again, if these are very legitimate changes that you're making and you have to for your business, then go for it. Just know that there's a chance that you get suspended. The next thing that you should be a little bit concerned about is your hours. So if you're changing your hours dramatically or saying that you're open 24/7 when most likely you're not based on your type of business, there's a small chance that you're going to get suspended because Google does not like misleading their users. And so if you're just trying to get customers around the clock to call you or go to your website, even if you're not open, Google is going to penalize you for that. And speaking of penalties, one of the big reasons that you want to be careful to not get your profile suspended is because we see in our data analysis that there is a period after suspension where it's just harder to rank, right? And the longer your profile is suspended, like the longer it takes you to get your profile verified again, the longer that like penalty in your ranking is going to last for. So if you do get suspended, get it back up as quickly as possible. But really, you should try to avoid suspensions as much as possible. And so, it's not just you that's able to sit to make these changes. There's also the ability for random internet people to go and suggest a new phone number or website URL or other information or hours or other information on your Google profile. And so it's really important that you stay on top of all these changes that are happening on your profile. So that if you see one that you don't agree with or think will get you suspended, that you take it down immediately or revert it back as the owner of that business. And there's a couple different things that I would suggest you can use for this one. You can just stay on top of this manually, but if you're using Paige, the AI agent that my business built that helps thousands of business owners rank higher on Google Maps, there's a feature in here that will actually tell you when a change was made to your Google profile. To turn this on, you just head over to automation and then account manager, and then a change is made to your profile. And whenever a change is made to your profile, you'll get an email from Paige saying, these are what the old settings were, these were the new ones, and if you want to change them back, then you should go do that. Otherwise, you're not going to realize when these changes are made. And then the last thing that I want to touch on is that Paige can do a whole lot of stuff to optimize your Google business profile, but it will never change those 6 things that can get your profile suspended: your business name, your address, your phone number, your website URL, your business categories, or your business hours. Paige does everything in its power to not get profiles suspended. So if you're looking for the best way to rank higher on Google Maps and not worry about getting your Google business profile suspended, then check out Paige. You can find it by going to merchant.com/Paige. And if you found this video to be helpful, then please subscribe to the channel, hit the like button. And if you did get your profile suspended, have a look at these items that we covered. I'll also put in the video description a link to a guide that covers absolutely everything you can do if your Google profile gets suspended. Or we can also share resources in how you can get it verified again as quickly as possible. Hopefully you found this helpful and that you never need this because you're safe and you never get your Google business profile suspended. But it seems like many businesses get flagged by Google anyway, even if they're following the rules. So you just have to be prepared for when it hits so you can get it back up and running as quickly as possible. Thanks so much.